Hello, welcome back to another edition of the Southern Wesleyan University Coaches Show. It's an exciting time for athletics here on Southern Wesleyan's campus. Baseball season getting started right here at the end of basketball season, heading into tournament time. So a lot of exciting stuff. Keep up with it at swuathletics.com. But for right now, we're going to talk some men's basketball. Joining us is the head men's basketball coach, Charles Wimphrie. Thanks for coming.
All right.
Since the last coaches show, the guys are 3-3. They started this last 6-game run with a tough loss to the rival Emmanuel. They only scored 52 points in that game, a season low. The next game, though, they exploded, 107 points with a win at home versus Truax McConnell. What was different in those games, from going from 52 to 107? How did they change so much offensive production in one game?
Well, playing on the road is always tough.
Yeah.
To make sure we understand it. That's was a good defensive game down there. We was up 10 at halftime. Emmanuel, we held Emmanuel to 4 field goals in the first half.
14 points they had first half.
Yeah, 14 points. And, it was a good defensive battle.
Yeah.
And we felt like we let that one get away.
Yeah.
And we talked about that, and then the next home game was Truax McConnell, I think.
Yep.
And we was leading the league in scoring, obviously.
Yeah.
And we can explode for 100 points at any time. But we just finally put it together. But in that Emmanuel game, Nick LeGrune didn't shoot the ball well at all. He was 1 for 12. He's going through a little mid-season slump, and that hurt us. But when we got, returned home.
Yeah. Just one of those nights on the offensive side of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of, the next game actually was between the top 2 scoring teams in the SSAC. It was Southern Wesleyan against Lee University. It was a nail-biter, heartbreaker against number 15. They're now number 11, also the SSAC leader. When you go back to that game, and just with that much talent that they have, athleticism they have, it's a 1-point loss. You take away some positives from that, more negatives from how closely you played?
Yes. Don't believe in moral victories, but that was obviously one from my kids. Last year we went in triple overtime with them here at home. This year we felt like we had them. Had the ball with 8 seconds to go, 2 possessions, and we was able to get a good look at the basket. We just missed it. But that's how it goes.
Yeah.
They're a good team, and there's no room for error when you play against teams of that caliber.
Yeah.
And you have to execute and do the things necessary to win the ball.
Well, in the last 2 games, a theme is emerging. It's 2 wins, on a little win streak here. But here's what I saw looking at the last 2. Over these last 2 games, it's 197 points totally scored. Michael Corpening and Nick LeGrune have 120 of them, 61% of all points scored. Is that by design? Has it been, hey, let's feed these 2 guys, or was that flow of the game? And then also with 2 wins, is that the formula for success?
Well, that's been the formula for success all season.
Yeah.
It's just how defense counter what you're trying to do. We can't afford Mikey and Nick or Nikolai to have a bad day. Those 3 guys, and obviously Nikolai is out right now. But Nick LeGrune, that's where it starts.
Yeah.
He has to come out and he has to perform at a high level every night.
He had 28 and 31, I believe, and
Yes.
it was 28 and 33 for Corpening those 2
Yes.
games.
And those guys, if they bring their game, we could play with anybody in the conference.
The next one up was actually Southern Polytech, another rough one. Just a month ago, they had lost by 20 to that team. Then you beat them in overtime a month later. What was the difference in those 2 games?
We looking at that game and watching the film from that game, we got off to a good start down there. Got off to 11-3 start right in the first 2 or 3 minutes of the game, and we felt like that if we had to continue on the pace we was doing, we was going to beat them. We felt that coming here, that if we jump on them, they very athletic.
Yeah.
Very athletic. Run their sets pretty good. Pretty well coached team. We had to be on our A game, we call it.
Yeah.
And we had to defend, rebound, and do everything that we needed to do.
Satisfied with the execution late? Ended up winning that game very close in overtime.
Yes, execution. Well, right around this time of year, it's when a team should be peaking.
Sure.
We did some peaking early in the year, and then we went into a rough part of our schedule. But right now, I think we're playing very, very, very good. Right now.
So that's the last question for you. Just looking here at the last couple games of the season, looking towards postseason, just some goals for you, places you want to improve, just as your outlook going into the rest of the year.
Well, obviously, we want to win out. That's what we talked about. We talked about taking one game at a time and winning out, which means we'll have 17 victories at the end of the year. Going into the tournament, putting on a good show at the tournament and possibly winning, because we can play with anybody in the conference.
Sure.
And then also we have the regionals, NCCAA regionals that we want to participate in Emmanuel.
Yeah.
And we want to win out.
That's great. Good goal.
Yeah, we want to. I think we're coming together as a team. We're gelling. Even without our leader, one of our leaders, Nikolai, he's out for the year. But other than that, I think we're rolling at the right time.
All right. To keep up with men's basketball, you can go to swuathletics.com. Of course, this YouTube channel. Pick out some of these games as they're going through the end here and try to come out to Tysinger Gymnasium. We'd love to see you here. It's a great time of year, men's and women's basketball right here going into tournament time. Coach, thanks for taking the time out.
Appreciate it.
Join us next time.